Hello traders, it's Samurai Trader here. We've just been in a successful T89 come T7, nice double top, and we limited out here down here. That was $85 per trade, and I'm in a T10 short trade right here now. So at the moment we're trading the NQ 55 tick. It is 5:57 a.m. in the US, and it's 8:57 p.m. down under here in Australia. So these are two of the trades that I teach in my fast track trading program. So if you're a new or experienced trader, you're sick of losing money and you want to learn how to trade rules-based strategies, that's what my programs are. I have 12 different setups that you buy all of the setups, and well over 8 hours of online video instruction for $197 plus 5 hours of recorded live sessions. But anyway, that's enough of the advertising. Drop me an email if you'd like further information. Let's go back to live trading. So we can see here where we shorted. Now other trades here, let me just mark these up. We had a number of trading opportunities here today, and excuse my very busy chart, but we've got this change in trend and I need to adjust my stop on this one. Now my stop should be 2 ticks above our swing high. So when we're trading the NQ, we generally, or I recommend that you have your stop 2 ticks above your closest swing high, or in this case is just there. So I've got a stop here of $400 or $40 per contract, 8 ticks, and down here I'm targeting the 200. Now we may get a bit of a bounce. I'm 1 tick below here, so we'll see what happens with this trade in a moment. So we're slowly edging down. This particular trade here, that was, let's see, 850, and this one on delivery will be, these are two very high probability trades that we're in. Of course this one delivered the bacon. Now my target now is, I'm heading towards my personal target now is $400 a day per contract. So this alone would, in these two trades, would deliver well over 150 per contract. So once again, I don't want to curse these particular trades, so we'll just give it a little bit of time. I'll just put this on hold for a moment. I've just taken my channel off just to make it a little easier. So if we look at our yellow line here, if you notice that it acts as a magnet, so our prices come down, we've bounced off at 200, now we've bounced off our 34, we've come down, we've crossed. So when we're above the yellow line here, we're only looking for longs, and when we're below the yellow line, we're looking for shorts. Now here in this particular case, our stop was just above here. Let me pull this down for you. Our stop was 2 ticks, our initial stop above here, so good risk reward returns on these. So 400 risk to a 700 gain, so that's a good risk reward. Now of course at 11:30 p.m. my time, another 2.5 hours, the main US markets open. Then instead of trading the NQ 55 tick, I'll be jumping up to the NQ 133 tick. On the ES, the E-minis, I would be trading the 550 tick, so much higher time frames when we get this volume up. Tend to find that the 55 tick is on the NQ is virtually impossible to trade. The market moves that quickly once our main market opens. So this trade here, this one, that was a counter trend, and that was a counter trend, and this is a change in trend, trend following trade. Sorry if it sounds, if I'm slurring now, it's quite a mouthful. It's been a long day. So we're now 450 up, we just keep ticking down. So you just got to really watch that, because usually we like to I recommend you front run these major areas of support and resistance. However, because we're coming down to the pivot, and you can see the black line here, is a very good chance that we may actually go through the 200 down here and bounce on the pivot down here. So once again, the market will do what the market wants to do. So let me just put this on hold for a moment. So traders have just brought down this Euro StoxX 50 trade I've got underway here, and we can see here that it's a little hard to see here because I'm keeping an eye on my NQ trade here, but this also was a nice divergence trade. It's been hovering around this pivot for quite some time now, a good half an hour. So I'm waiting for it to come down and to hit my target here, which is 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 ticks, which is $77 per contract, or 771 on 10 contracts. So it's until about 11 p.m. my time, another 2 hours, the market just sort of tends to just tick away quite slowly. We can see a bit of a bounce here. This is just where we need to be patient. One thing you'll hear me say on a regular basis: time is not on our side. That is, I don't like it when we start to hover around here. I like to see the market move. Now just here as well, we had a T10. We can see the long-term stochastic dropping here. The short-term come up and rolled over, as we did over here on the NQ. So we've got a T10 trade, potential trade here, but I was already in this trade over here. Now talking about front running, there'd be no reason why, and it would have been quite sensible in some ways, to actually get out on this pivot, which would have still delivered 4 ticks of profit, which is still very respectable on the Euro StoxX 50. A natural fact, because time's getting on and I want to head for retirement. That is, it's nearly my bedtime in my part of the world, because I'll be up about 2:30, 3 a.m. to trade the New York market. So I'm going to look at closing these positions fairly shortly. So I've just brought my target up to this pivot line here. Now normally, by the way, if you're trading multiple contracts, I would recommend that you take some of your contracts off on your pivot and maybe let some ride, come down to break even and let the rest ride. So I might just put this back on hold for a moment. Okay, you just missed that. I just moved the screen up, but I was just filled on those Euro StoxX 50 trades. That was good for 4 ticks. So I exited, bought my my exit up to the pivot, and it's still hovering around the pivot. Now I'm looking for the market to drop another 6 ticks here so I can get out of it. On my, here we go, nearly there, one more tick and I'll be out. So 650. Now I'll bring my stop down to +1, so I can't lose any money. This is effectively, if you like, a free trade now. So I've brought my stop loss down here. Now remember, earlier I mentioned that this could be an area of support right on this period. Now notice here we're bouncing on this 200 EMA. Now what I am going to do is bring it up, because I'm not willing this time of evening to give anything back now. Here we go, and we're out, just about out. A few more contracts to go, so let me just adjust that, because that is now 600. Okay, so I've now exited this trade here. So I lifted my exit back up. I was aiming for the 14 ticks. I only picked up 12 ticks on this trade, but I had a nice tight stop of around I think it was 8 ticks for a 12 tick gain, so my risk reward was good. I exited up here on the left, our Euro Stoxx 50. I was targeting somewhere down here around the 89. I lifted that up because we're just hovering around this pivot, which I feel uncomfortable with. So traders, sorry if I raved a little bit on some of these setups here, or a couple of quick trades I want to get off before I retired for the evening. So if you'd like to know more about my trading setups, and they're very rules based, in other words, as long as you're willing to follow a set of mechanical rules, these trade setups work brilliantly. They're very high probability trades that work on all markets: Forex, futures, stocks. So drop me an email for further information on my trading program and let me fast track your success. I'll send you some information on what I do and how I do it. And we can see here we're hovering around this 200, which is a support area. So good trading. I'll be back on the markets in another 5 or 6 hours after I get some sleep. Thank you, traders.